Hi and welcome to txtNationTV. This week it's Google, Apple,
LinkedIn, and DirecTV.
and that's how it's going to go. This week we had a couple controversial things that we wanted to talk about. Number one, I kind of wanted Alan to start this one out because his family apparently dropped these people off like a heartbeat. Anyway, welcome to txtNationTV. Before we get started, it is episode number 44. My name's Rusty G.
I'm Alan, and I guess it's that important that we had to skip our welcoming message there.
Yes.
But yeah, it's, episode 44, and what we're talking about is, I didn't even know really it was going on because I dropped.
You haven't had a
I've
cable,
had cable
satellite,
TV in like 5, 6, 7 years now.
Yeah.
Because as you know, and probably our parents don't know, there's Netflix, Hulu Plus, the internet.
In general.
Yeah, exactly. So we can find things to watch on TV. Also, a high definition over-the-air TV still looks good.
Oh, it looks great.
And still get your local news and everything for free. For now. So let's try to keep that going. But yeah, Viacom and DirecTV. This I know this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, it's a contract issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been stirring up for at least over 5, 6, 7 years as well.
Yeah.
So it looks like Viacom has said, if you're not going to agree to this term, we're just going to cut you off. Like a bad college student. Parents just took the credit card right out of their hands. And that's what happened. And I found this out over this weekend in hotels when I was in Atlanta.
With a crappy 4x3 television that was about 10 inches big?
Yeah, I'll share that with you now. Yeah, that TV and the box there they hide it in. But yeah, when I was in Atlanta, this hotel uses DirecTV and, Comedy Central, let's go check out that. Daily Show, no. All right, Cartoon Network, no.
Nickelodeon included.
Yeah, the list just goes on and on. And, okay, I thought maybe it's just a glitch because it was stormy that night.
Yeah.
All right, so I left Atlanta, went to St. Louis. Same hotel chain, same crappy TV in the same crappy box. But okay, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, things like that, no. So I got a message from my sister saying, why DirecTV, why? And I was like, okay, maybe something's going on with DirecTV itself. And I talked to her and she said, well, the whole Viacom decided to pull all these channels. And because of this, my parents decided that was enough. If they can't get the Daily Show, then forget it. They went to Charter.
Oh, wow.
Which is now a Comcast-owned company.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. But, people are set in their ways. They want to watch what they want to watch,
Right.
If they like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, they have kids, or Comedy Central, they want to watch the Daily Show or Colbert Report or something like that. And I don't know. I think Viacom needs to learn from this maybe, and maybe they're being too greedy.
There might be something like that because I think it boiled down to like a few cents per subscriber.
Yeah.
And it would be 2 to 3 cents more per subscriber that would change that. And I think DirecTV might have been standing their ground and saying, look, we don't want to charge our customers anymore. And Viacom was like, well, look, it's only pennies more, and so they just couldn't get that.
But if we look, remember Verizon, Bank of America, all these things that happened last year.
Yeah.
You change a penny.
Everybody,
we're going on Twitter, we're going on Facebook, and we're going to let these we're just going to barrage these companies with messages and hate. And,
Speaking of, it's just been a year. If you remember this, everybody was talking about it this past week. Netflix last year was their whole big price hike. It's been a year.
Yeah.
And they're still recovering from it. Reed Hastings is, I think he was a man trying to reach out into the future.
Yeah.
And grab, because DVDs are a dying medium. People still like to buy them from the $5 bin at Walmart, but it's a dying medium. So
yeah.
I think Viacom is maybe just trying to maybe reach in the future and go, look, we have to expand because Comedy Central isn't cheap. I would assume with all the content that they have, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, whatever else was in that deal. I don't know. There was like 40-something channels. I'm not on.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe MTV Networks was in there as well.
Yeah, something. Rising cost of content creation is the problem. So
yeah.
I think it was just one of those things. But another controversy that it was kind of funny to watch this past week was involving Apple. I think within the last week, basically, Apple said we're no longer going to be a part of the consortium of Epeat. I don't even know what Epeat stands for, but basically protection. Yeah, exactly. So basically, it's them being green, but they're saying they're taking 27, 37, something like that, some odd number of products out of that line, which didn't include any of the iPods, iPhones, things like that, but include some of the MacBooks, because if you notice, the latest MacBooks are harder to take apart.
Yes.
They are on iFixit's report, like out of a 1 to 10, easiest being 10 and 1 being the hardest, they're a 1. You can't replace parts on your own. You have to take it back to Apple and have them replace it.
There's no wiggle room. If the battery gets too hot and expands, that's it.
Yeah.
The whole case will just...
Yeah. So basically, Apple said, look, we're not, there's things that Epeat doesn't even measure that we measure up to that are better for the environment. Yeah. There's things that Epeat's starting to go a little crazy with that we don't really, congeal with. We're still a great, green company, but we're just not going to go by these rules. That was it. And all of a sudden it just came out, and that was the news. And everybody's like, okay. Well, like the next day, San Francisco, being the green city that it is, comes out as a government. The city of San Francisco says, we're no longer going to buy your products. We're not going to do this. And I kind of laughed. I was like, who cares if San Francisco doesn't buy your products? The rest of the world is buying.
They're going to buy their products, trust me. What are they going to buy? Microsoft products?
Exactly. So that next day, like I said, San Francisco government said, well, we're not going to buy your stuff if you're not up to snuff. And Apple's like, no response. Yeah, no response. There was no response. And it went on for a few days. A couple other people were like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. This is Mercury and green and blah, 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 blah. And it was like, rabble, rabble, rabble. Well, then, all of a sudden, it started getting up to the government level where the actual United States government was considering, and they never made an official announcement, but they considered saying, we're not going to purchase Apple products either, because if they're not up to snuff on these things, and again, no response from Apple. Everybody's like, probably not a good idea at this point. So as of today, as of this recording, Apple has come back and said, all right, look, we get it. You people think that because they have rules, we have to abide by them. But we're better than that. But we're going to, all right, whatever. We'll put them back online. So they said it was a mistake.
Yeah.
They admit to it. And so everybody's back online. It was just funny watching it. Because it was like, we're not going to be a part of this just because we're already higher standards. We already do other things. There are some things that we're going to change, blah, blah, blah. But overall, I don't think it really mattered. People were still going to buy Apple products because they're all sheep, but that's fine either way. But just the back and forth was funny to watch this week, so it's just different. But somebody else who made some changes, you were telling us.
Yeah, LinkedIn. And if you didn't know, LinkedIn was messing around with maybe changing their look as more of a Facebook friendly look, which I don't like at all.
You don't like the Facebook, or you don't like the LinkedIn?
I don't like LinkedIn being Facebook
okay.
Or LinkedIn being Twitter. I'm glad they got rid of that Twitter feed thing because some of the people on my LinkedIn tweet a lot of just nonsense.
Yeah.
And that would just always, appear on the page. I like LinkedIn
for business
and the professional look it had.
Right.
You can go there, there's the resume, there's recommendations, there's contacts.
Right.
I don't need to know what this guy's doing right now.
Now, what do you use, you particularly, for LinkedIn? Do you ever share anything on LinkedIn at all? News articles, anything like that?
Not news articles, no.
Okay.
LinkedIn, I just keep more as a resume.
Right,
and
okay.
Also, when I network with someone else,
okay,
to figure out what they're up to, and if we match, or we can do business together or something, I'll send them a request, or they'll send me a request, kind of thing like that.
The only thing I've ever used it for is anything security-based, because that's what my degree is in. I want that to be part of my thing. So I don't put my Twitter feeds or anything like that in there, because, that can get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I use that specifically for my job and security, so that people think that I don't mean think, but you see that I'm concerned about security things and hacks and that sort of stuff, so that it looks like as an outsider person that, hey, this guy not only is talking about his degree, he knows about it. So that's what I use mine for.
That's okay too, because it keeps within the business of what you do. So as long as you stay in that track, then that's okay. It's when you start to venture off and try to make it more user friendly, I don't like that.
Yeah. All right, Sheldon.
So the update they have now, I like it. It works. Just keep it like that. LinkedIn, if you watch.
One other company that has made some recent changes is also Google and Google Plus and all that stuff. They've had a lot of different announcements since Google I/O. Obviously, they have released a new iOS app for iPhones and iPods, allowing you to start now from your phone a Hangout, which you haven't been able to do before. Kind of cool. So now you can use your FaceTime or I say FaceTime camera, but your front-facing camera on your iOS device, iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch to start a Hangout. And another thing they just released just a few days ago was Cameraman for Google Hangouts, where if you're doing a live broadcast and say you're doing interviews and say we want to show this during our Google Hangout, but you're doing the interviewing and all of a sudden he might make a noise. Well, the old Google Hangout, well, not the old Google Hangout, but the regular Google Hangout, if he made a noise, it would pop him up front because, you know, he's making some sort of noise and try to control who was going up. Well, with this new update to Google Plus, Cameraman, it allows you to control what is being displayed up front before you switch. So it basically gives you a video switcher so that you have control of that. So that's kind of cool. Also, starting today, some people that did their pre-orders for Google Nexus 7 tablet are starting to receive their Nexus 7 tablets. So that's awesome. Those of you that have had a Kindle Fire before are going to be very reminiscent, except for they have a front-facing camera on this one for video chatting. I have already seen Android 4.0 brought onto the Kindle Fire, which I'm kind of thinking I might do to my mother's Kindle Fire.
She'll love that.
I was going to say she might like it.
Change.
She might like it better than the Kindle Fire because, you know, the Kindle Fire Amazon/Android on top of is, it's there, but it's not there. You know, it's different things. There's rumor of the Kindle Fire 2 already coming around the corner. But yeah, like I said, Google Nexus 7, those of you who did the pre-order should be either receiving them sometime this very next few days. If not, you have already. But be on the lookout for that. And Google Nexus or Google Play Store was also attacked again by another virus. Guys, just again, like we said last time, make sure you know your sources, where you're getting them from, things like that. Is there anything else that we want to talk about for the rest of this week before we get out?
Well, speaking of knowing your sources, that Russian app that allows you to buy things without buying things, leave it alone.
Yeah.
It's nothing but trouble.
Yeah, I think we saw it's like in-app purchases. It's not.
It's not like you can go to iTunes and buy everything for free.
Yeah.
It's just the games where you have to use real money, which is ridiculous to buy virtual things.
Well, there's freemium games. Like there's a couple war games that I play that I never buy the in-app purchases because they want you to get gold or something for, you know. It's like you said.
Yeah, for more than the price gold's worth. I'll leave it alone.
But anyway, I think that's going to be it because I don't even want to get into the iPad rumor news. Anyway.
What about Office 2000?
Oh, that's right. Coming up.
What year are we in? 12?
Yeah. Coming up Monday, July the whatever that is, I'll put that here. Microsoft should be announcing Office 2013, which should be in slate also for a new release of Windows 8 coming out very soon. We haven't seen the gold release yet. We have seen the consumer release preview, all those different versions of that. But some people are excited about it, some people aren't. I'm excited about the $39.99 price, for the upgrade. I don't know about, relinquishing desktop space for tiles on a computer. There is a switch which you can go back and forth, but apparently they've gotten rid of the start button and things like that. But that's a whole nother ball game. But yeah, be looking for Steve Ballmer to be announcing Office 2013 coming up Monday. And I don't think of anything else that's brand new other than there were leaked photos of the iPhone 5. Here's one. Here's another one. And here's another one. These are all supposedly engineer photos of maybe possible. It's still along the same lines.
Yeah.
Speaker grills are larger, headphone jack at the bottom, longer, skinnier, thinner, blah, 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 bigger. So hopefully that'll come around. We'll find out in the near and dear future. But I think that's going to cover it for this week for episode number 44. Make sure you follow us online. I'm going to start out with Facebook.com/txtNationTV. Add us as a friend there.
Yeah, follow us, Twitter.com/txtNationTV.
You can also get us on Google Plus. Add us to your circles. It's gplus.to/txtNationTV.
You pinners out there, pin us, pinterest.com/txtNationTV.
And if you want to follow us, all the video that you can handle, subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/txtNationTV. And again, until I probably just go through and erase and delete it, txtNation.tv, and just start all over again with that. Hit us up. You can also find Alan separately if you want to tell him, hey, I like your jacket. It looks great. Your haircut looks horrendous. I don't know. It's at Text Alan. Is that correct? TXT Alan?
It is. And if we're getting personal, Rusty here, you can follow him at Rusty G and tell him about his thinning hair.
It does.
As you see, we're getting old and more crotchety. We don't like change. But without change, we can't move forward. So hopefully you move forward with us. And see you next time.
We'll see you again for episode number 45.